In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to filter on a set of entities, and I'm also going to show you two reports that Melissa has created that will show you which of your entities are missing location data and which are missing photos. So I'll start with just the broader tutorial on filtering. So as you can see, I'm in the Tasmania OHRM on the main menu page. Click on Entities. And this opens up the form view of the entity table. Eventually. Here we go. So I'll go to the top left hand corner of your screen where you see View, left click and select Data Sheet View. And here you have a view of all the entities in your entity table, but like in a spreadsheet. So the first thing I want to do is just filter on the entity type organisations, because I'm just trying to find out, I want to find out which are missing dates, which are missing sum notes and things like that. So I'm going to left click on the arrow pointing down and go to select all and uncheck it, and then just select organisation and OK, and you'll see that it's removed all the other entity types and I'm just left with 256 organisations now. The next thing I want to do is filter on my care provider function. If you have home function already in, you could do it by home function, but I think care provider is probably good because you won't miss anything that way. There might still be some homes in the care provider function. So alright, I just go to the top of the field and again click on that downward arrow, and rather than using these selecting buttons, I just want to see the word care provider anywhere in the field. So I'm looking for organisations that have the function care provider. So the way I do that is I go to text filters, contains, I write care provider, okay, and now it's reduced down to 40 entries. Okay, the other thing that might come in handy to know is you don't necessarily want to see all the fields, so you can hide some of the fields from your view. So again, I'm just left clicking on any column and then right click and it says unhide columns. So I select that and you'll see all the columns listed here. So I'm just going to go through and click the ones that I don't need to see. I always like to see the ID, the title and the type. I don't need nationality or gender. Name's important. Binomial name, well, this data set doesn't have any, but generally you'd probably like to leave that. Leave your date from. These are sort of databasey date fields. You don't need them necessarily, and we're not using the place field at this stage, so uncheck all of those. Leave 2 because that's your end date. I'm leaving summary note. Prepared by, I'll leave that. The rest don't really need. Location data I'll leave in, and I'm leaving in processing notes, and I'm leaving in the function statement. So that's it. So now we have many, we have a fewer columns. So that's that. So another quite handy thing to know how to do is you can, if you want to say, oh, just I only want all the entities that have no dates. Well, it's very easy to see from this small data set that there's just the one here. But if you had a really large data set, the way you can do that is you can go click in the date field and you want to deselect all, and I just want to see all the blanks. So there you go, you're just left with the blanks. Now to unfilter a set, which is quite important, see there you've got a little, when I hover my mouse over the little filter up the top there, it says date from equals blank. So if I click on that, left click on that, again you just select all, okay, and you've got your data sheet back. Another way to do it is to just, to get all the blanks at the top, you can just, again, left click on that downward arrow, sort A to Z, and you'll see that it starts with the blanks, and then it's a chronological listing or an A to Z listing, alphabeticals, but A to Z also means in chronological order. So again, you can sort Z to A if you want to do it the other way around. And now to get it back to where it was, it's always sorting by entity ID, A to Z, so there you're back in the order that you began with. Another quite nice thing to know is just, to make your columns wider, if you just hover your mouse over the edge of the column, you'll see that symbol come up with the 2 arrows. Now you can either just left click and hold it down and move it across, or if you left click, double click, it automatically opens the column up so that you can see all the text that's in that field. Nothing's hidden. There you go. It does have a limit. I think that's all I need to show you for that one. The other thing is just to remove the filter entirely. You just go to this toggle filter there in your main menu bar. You see, if you hover your mouse over it, it says remove filter. Left click on that, and you've got your full data set back. And now I want to go back to the form view, so I go form view. There I am, back to where I was. And when I go to close this table, it says, do you want to save changes? And you say no. And we're back to the main menu. Another couple of really handy reports that Melissa's prepared is no location and no photo. So if you want to see all your entities that don't have a photo, double click on that no photo report in the left hand column, and there you have them. And again, now that you know how to filter on, you can filter on care provider or home, so that you can reduce that list. At the moment it's showing every single entity that doesn't have a photo, but you can reduce that to just the care provider in the way that I showed you before, which is just text filters contains care provider. Okay, and there you go. So there's your list that don't have a photo. The final report I wanted to show you is the no location one, which pretty much works in the same way. So here we go. Do you want to save changes? We're always saying no because we're just sort of messing about. No location. It's a similar thing. So there, it just automatically brings a list of all entities that do not have location data in the events table. So that's that one. Yeah, and that's all I wanted to show you today. Thank you.